very much. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee and especially Professor Dr. Mohammad Sharif Saab, Dr. Salim Saab, and Dr. Zishan Saab for inviting me and for your hospitality. Thank you very much. The title of my today's presentation is Spherically Symmetric Static Lorentzian Ricci soliton. So, as Professor Khalid Saifullah Saab told you that I was the PhD student of Professor Dr. Ghulam Sharif Saab, and he is no more among us. So, I would like to dedicate this presentation to him in his memory. And the layout of my presentation, first of all, I will give some introduction to this topic, and then I will go to define the Ricci flow and Ricci solitons. And then obviously, we will need some previous work to understand this one. So I will give some literature review, and then I will explain what we have got here, and then conclusion and references. But here I must mention that this work was carried out by my PhD student, Mr. Tahirullah, and this work is already done in the collaboration with Professor Dr. Ahmed Kafi from the Saudi Arabia, who is working at King Abdulaziz University. So, Ricci flow was first introduced by to study some compact three-dimensional manifolds having positive Ricci curvature. And Hamilton then proved many remarkable results for Ricci flow. As you are well aware of the Poincare conjecture, that it was presented by Henri Poincare in 1904, and it states that every simply connected closed three-manifold is homeomorphic to the three-sphere. So what it means is that the three-sphere is the only type of bounded three-dimensional possible space which contains no holes. And then Thurston extended this Poincare conjecture by stating it that every closed three-manifold can be decomposed in a canonical way into pieces that each have one of 8 types of geometric structure. Thus, it provides a complete characterization of geometric structure on three-dimensional manifold. So the basic idea behind the Hamilton work was to establish some non-linear diffusion equation which would ultimately tends to smooth out singularities in the metric. And since I told you that Hamilton introduced this Ricci flow in 1982, it was then studied widely, and in recent days, researchers are focusing to describe how higher dimensional Riemannian manifolds evolve under this Ricci flow, or what type of parametric singularity may form. Then, the same person, Hamilton, in 1988, introduced the concept of Ricci solitons. And Ricci solitons are basically the generalizations of Einstein metrics. They correspond to special solutions of Hamilton's Ricci flow. Now, what are Ricci solitons? Ricci solitons basically act as a fixed point to the Ricci flow. It is therefore important for us to understand the geometry of the Ricci solitons and then to classify them as per their topology and geometry. Now here are some definitions related to this Ricci flow and Ricci solitons, the mathematical one. The Ricci flow equation is basically this equation 1, where the derivative of the metric tensor is taken, and on the right hand side you can see the Ricci tensor. So if you look at this equation, this is basically expressing the distortion of the Riemannian metric GAB along the time t. As the time evolves, your metric will be distorted. And this distortion is because of the Ricci curvature. So if the space-time has a large Ricci curvature, then there will be a great distortion. So if Ricci curvature becomes 0, then obviously there will be no distortion in the space, because partial or partial t GAB will become 0, and there will be no distortion in the space-time manifold for this Ricci flow. And space-time with 0 Ricci curvature are thus becomes fixed points of the flow. So if someone is interested to find the fixed points for this Ricci flow, then you have to take the Ricci curvature as 0. So the idea of the Ricci soliton was also given by Hamilton, as I told earlier, in 1988. And Ricci soliton manifolds are basically the extension of Einstein manifolds. These manifolds are the outcome of the Ricci flow and are called self-similar or homothetic solutions. Ricci solitons are manifolds having metric GAB. Now this is the mathematical definition for the Ricci soliton, that Ricci soliton are basically manifolds having metric GAB and which are equipped with the vector field Y such that the E derivative of GAB plus 2 RAB equal to 2 omega GAB. So GAB is the metric tensor, RAB is the Ricci tensor, and omega is a scalar constant. Now the whole Ricci solitons are dependent upon this omega, because once you choose GAB, then obviously you cannot change the RAB. So the one thing which can change in this whole equation is then omega. This omega can be positive because it is a constant, so it can be positive, it can be negative, or it can be 0. So if this omega is positive, then the Ricci solitons are known as shrinking Ricci soliton. And if this omega is less than 0, that is negative, then it corresponds to the expanding Ricci solitons. Also, if this omega becomes 0, then Ricci solitons are called steady Ricci solitons. Now, some earlier work, I would explain it. In Ricci flow, a steady soliton is the only type of soliton which does not rescale. So steady soliton cannot rescale themselves. Any space-time metric with 0 Ricci tensor components represent a steady soliton. So if you look at that equation, equation number 2, in this, if the Ricci tensor component are 0, then it will represent a steady soliton. Similarly, geometric flows are significant in general theory of relativity, and geometric flows whose fixed points correspond to static spacetime with 0 Ricci tensor components have been studied by Liszt. In Riemannian geometry, the flow equations are due to Hamilton, as I told earlier, but Liszt presented generalized flow equations and extended that work to the static spacetimes. It has been pointed out by Dougal that in the general theory of relativity, Ricci solitons have a crucial role in the study of fluids having non-zero shear and expansion. unless it reduces to Einstein metric. A Ricci soliton is said to be gradient if its potential field Y is the gradient of some function beta on the manifold M. So this is the mathematical equation for this statement that Y is equal to del beta. Then Professor McCollum and Akbar worked on static and steady Ricci solitons. Then Yang and Zhang classified gradient Ricci solitons for particular four-dimensional metric. And then many others worked on Lorentzian manifold. Basically, they extended the idea of Riemannian manifolds to the Lorentzian manifolds and studied these Ricci solitons over the Lorentzian manifolds. Sidumi and Batat worked on Lorentzian Walker manifold of four dimension and found that for such metrics, non-Einstein Ricci scalar Ricci soliton exist. And they also proved that for such matrices, Ricci solitons are gradient when they are steady. So this was the result that for only steady solitons, the solitons are gradient. Then we, in collaboration with Ebrar Hussain, started this work first and classified the plane symmetric static Lorentzian manifold for their Ricci soliton vector fields. Ali and Hassan presented their work on comparison of Ricci soliton vector fields and corresponding spacetime symmetries in general theory of relativity. So after this literature review, I would like to go now to our work because time is also short. So everyone knows this metric. This is this spherically symmetric static spacetime, and this spacetime admits four minimum four Killing vector fields which are given. The Ricci tensor components are given in equation number 5. Now we will put all these components are the components of the Ricci tensor and the metric tensor in the Ricci soliton equations, and we will get this 10 equation. So now we have to solve these 10 equations by we solved it by direct integration technique. There can be some other technique as well, but we solved it by direct integrating them and doing some algebraic techniques. So this is all the detail, but we don't have the time, so I would like to go to the results which we got here. These are quite interesting results. This is the space-time which we got in the first case, and here you can see the Ricci soliton factor omega is came out as 3 rho naught square over P1, which is positive because here rho 1 is positive, and you can see the square over rho naught, and as R kappa kappa is equal to omega G kappa kappa, so there is a straight relation between the metric tensor and the Ricci tensor. So the metric obtained here is an Einstein metric. Similarly, in this case, the Ricci soliton factor is negative, and again, the space-time metric is Einstein. So in this case, you can say that we obtained an expanding Ricci soliton. In the third case, we obtained it as Q2, where Q2 is non-zero. So if Q2 is positive, then we will have a shrinking Ricci soliton, and if Q2 is negative, then we will have an expanding Ricci soliton. In this case, I have written here this vector field, you can see. So let me finish with the conclusion that spherically symmetric static spacetime is classified for their Ricci soliton vector fields, and some particular metrics of this class admit 4. This is our finding that they admit 4, 5, 8, 10, and 11 dimensional Ricci soliton vector field. And the important part of this research is that non-Einstein metrics also exist, which admit Ricci soliton vector field. The obtained Ricci solitons are shrinking as well as expanding and steady. And only in one case, steady Ricci soliton is obtained. In such case, the space-time metric becomes Schwarzschild metric, And we also check, so all the obtained Ricci soliton vector fields are gradient as well. These were the references used.
Okay, thank you very much for this interesting talk.